everybody, my name is Starrapter and I'm pumped to talk about the Star Wars Resistance Season 1 finale. What a finale. This is how you end a first season of Star Wars TV. We had the great setup in the last episode. By the way, this is No Escape Part 2. Part 1 really set up all the heavy lifting. So now we're getting into this last episode and it hits the ground running. There is no time for slowing down because we get so many resolutions to so many things. They do an adept job at really tying together all of these kind of storylines in 22 minutes. So we go from Kaz realizing that his planet has been destroyed by Starkiller to freeing, we have freeing of Captain Doza as well as Yeager. Then we go and we see that unfortunately Tamra has chosen to side with the First Order. Then we see the Colossus going into orbit while we have the protection of the Colossus thanks to the Aces, as well as the arrival of Phazon as well as the pirates, and they get away safely, the Colossus, into hyperspace and not knowing where the heck they're going to end up thanks to Niku not putting in the coordinates correctly. So yes, there was so much ground that we covered in this episode and it was awesome. Like, this is what you want to see from a Star Wars TV show. There was a couple moments where I was like, this is Star Wars. They have nailed the vibe. So many amazing moments, right? So I want to start from kind of the beginning and work my way through of all the things that I want to pick out and talk about specifically. The first one is Kaz's reaction to the destruction of his planet. We assume that his parents were still on the planet, unfortunately, during the destruction. And we see that nice tender moment with the character of Torra, and she is comforting Kaz, but then Kaz immediately has this great resolve and says, look, we got to get the First Order out of here. We still have a job to do. And they free Yeager, and Yeager also has a moment with Kaz that says, you know, we got to get out of here, and he feels sorry for him, and they kind of continue the mission. So this reminded me a lot of how Leia reacted to the destruction of Alderaan. She's such a strong character, and we don't really see her ever like thinking about Alderaan for the rest of the movie because they have stuff to do. They have to get out of the Death Star. They have to destroy the Death Star to save, you know, the base on Yavin. So she doesn't have time to really think about it. And the same thing reacts with Kaz in this episode. So really dug that. I thought it was awesome how they came up with a plan so quickly to rid the First Order from the Colossus by literally flushing them out. This plays into prior plot points of the episode where Colossus was halfway underwater. They deal with the doors opening to suck the water out, sort of thing. That was pretty cool. And you're just seeing the stormtroopers just floating through the water. Mind you, there is a lot of stormtrooper, what looks like death in this episode, from stormtroopers falling off of very high towers to not looking like they're going to survive underwater for very long to being blown apart in TIE fighters. Yeah, if you guys thought that this show was going easy just for the kids, well, we've gotten to the point where we can see that, yeah, it's on the kids channel, but there's still lots of death to be had in this show, which is, it's okay, right? So getting more into the suspense, and this show, this episode really got me going as far as like, I don't know what's going to happen. And that's the great thing about this show, is we are not relying on characters that we know the fates of. We don't know what's going to happen with any of these characters, and that's what really helps build up the suspense, keeps me on the edge of my seat, specifically at that moment towards the middle of the episode when we have Tamra making that decision. Is she going to stay with Yeager and the Resistance with Kaz, or is she going to take up the deal with Ancient Tyranny and have her aspirations and dreams come true with possibly being what looks like a pilot of the First Order? And we don't know what's going to happen. We have Kaz, we have Yeager all at gunpoint by the First Order. I was scared because I was like, I don't want Yeager to die so soon, but he's a mentor character, which usually die off in the first episode, like Qui-Gon or Ben Kenobi. But luckily they got out of there safely because, wow, we had Niku set up the Colossus into orbit there and just throw everybody off, literally. So that was quite fun. Another moment I really enjoyed was when they were on the hangar scrambling to their fighters, and we have those TIE fighters just ready to blast them in the hangar, and we have the First Order transport coming back with Phazon and Aunt Z. That was an awesome, heroic moment. Didn't really expect them to be back after all, but they did. Another great moment was when the pirates showed up to really give them a hand, and it was just awesome moment after moment. Again, big Star Wars feeling moments where you don't know what's going to happen, and it's just all kind of built up with the music, the fantastic music, especially when the Colossus is coming out of the water. This swelling of the music just screams Star Wars to me, and that's probably about the best praise I can give to anything as far as relating to Star Wars, is giving me that feeling of the movies, and this episode certainly did that. I really dug the dogfight. I think they did this better than in any other episode before. We have those shots of the pilots in the cockpit and just the suspense again of some of our people being hit, as far as some of the aces being hit, and then we have the Red Baron guy, Major Von Rag. He gets his demise in this episode, which kind of falls in line with a lot of the Star Wars TV series like we had in Rebels. The Inquisitor was all throughout the season. He gets killed at the end of that season, and we have the same thing happening with this, so it kind of falls in line with that. But it's great to see that the Resistance gets a big old win in this one, especially with the happy ending. We have that closing shot of the aces, of the pirates, of everybody on the Colossus going into hyperspace, not knowing where they're going to go. They are kind of sad about not having everybody there with them, but they are hopeful for the future, and they have their first pretty much win to take to the First Order. So for sure, this episode really kind of hit it out of the park, in my opinion. They really have come a long way with building up all these characters, and this is what you want to feel. Many moments in this episode I was feeling like just super happy, cheering on the Resistance. Other moments I was kind of on the verge of, holy crap, this is really sad, you know what I mean? Like, there was lots of roller coaster of emotions, which I can't really show more praise for when something actually gets me to go through that in a matter of 22 episodes. So yeah, just this show has been great. I'm gonna do a separate video on my entire review, on my review of the entire first season of Star Wars Resistance. So I'm not done talking about Resistance yet. And coming in a couple weeks, we have Star Wars Celebration. We're going to have a panel for Star Wars Resistance, and hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about Season 2. So those are my thoughts on the Star Wars Resistance finale for Season 1. What did you guys think? Let's talk about it all in the comment section below. What do you think may happen in Season 2? Where are they going to end up? So many things to speculate about. That's what I love about Star Wars. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of other Star Wars content that I release on a weekly basis, including talking about the comics, books, and more. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you like this conversation, please support the channel by simply subscribing. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you guys so much for sticking through all the reviews. My name is Starrapter, and have a good one. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.